It's The Ring Part 20, featuring Shitty Pennywise and a complete lack of parents. This is Slender Man on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at me!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at me!
No one! Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week, this episode, sponsored by our supporters on Patreon, patreon.com/Stinker Madness. Thank you guys, because you bought us a trip to the bad movie field trip place, the theater, and we watched a shitty movie that we are going to discuss.
I just want to say I'm sorry. I'll get that out there right now.
Yeah, Slender Man was Jackie's pick.
It's a creepypasta.
The creepypasta. A SMAP for contender for sure. Currently sitting at a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's gone down to an 8, and I think that's high.
Yeah.
I think it's high. I want to find the people that are pushing that up to an 8 and convince them otherwise.
A 15 on Metacritic, which is pretty low.
That's very low.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's high.
Yeah. So this will be potentially a award-winning film by us. Jackie, you are our horror affection, our horror.
I'm the whore of the show.
You like horror movies, especially really crappy horror movies. Had you ever heard of Slender Man before this movie was a thing?
No
experience.
No.
So then what the fuck did you choose this for?
It looks scary on the poster.
Really? Huh.
And it had a low enough Rotten Tomatoes that you're like, okay, I can get away with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get to this eventually, so I might as well go to the theater.
Well, it looked...
I had a hot dog. That was good.
I had Milk Duds. They were pretty good. Ate too much popcorn, made myself sick. But I now I'm just totally distracted by food. Fuck you, Sam. But you know, I picked it. I saw some previews for it at other movies that we'd went and watched, and I thought, okay, that looks kind of scary. And then I saw the movie poster, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of a creepy thing. We should go see this. And then last week, Sam was like, oh, it's got a 15 on a Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we're totally going to go see this because I like shitty horror movies. And this one, well, we'll get into all that.
Here's the fun thing. I don't think you do like shitty horror movies, but we'll get into all that.
Well, and speaking of the trailers at the movies, are we going to have to go see The Nun as well the next time that you have a pickup?
Right.
Yeah, probably, because that one did look scary as well.
It looks like these ghost nuns attack the same way as velociraptors do. The one looks at you, and that's when the other two come at you from the sides. Because that happened in the trailer.
Right.
One of the nun ghosts is running distraction on a live nun while the other one hits her from the side.
It slashes at your big belly, you little fat kid, and your guts spill out.
Yeah.
Alan, what's his name? Alan Turing? The fuck is Sam Neill's character's name? Dr. Allen. Yeah.
Dr. Neil, wait.
He's not good with kids. Anyways, Velociraptor nuns.
Yeah. I can't get off this nun thing. That they chose the lead nun to be like, oh yeah, we need to have a girl who's not too young and not too unpretty so that when you see this nun, you want to fuck her. Like, oh, that's a nun that I'd really take to Bone Town.
It's a NILF.
Yeah. Ooh, hey, sweetheart. If you can survive these velociraptor nuns, I'll take you to dinner, I guess.
You may be married to God, but that doesn't mean you can't bang.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Sam, had you ever heard about Slender Man before
Not
this?
until I had to read about it.
For the movie.
For the movie,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Did you, in your research, kind of delve into the backstory of Slender Man?
So
what
I
this
didn't
all is?
really do a lot of research towards the movie itself or
Mhm.
the filmmakers.
Right.
I found the Slender Man.
Fuck them.
Because fuck them, yeah. I found the creation and mythos of the Slender Man to be more interesting. So that's where I went with. I did the creepypasta line of research. So.
Proceed.
It was Eric Knudsen who
Eric
gets
Knudsen.
He gets a shout out, 2 shout outs in the film. One because I guess it is his intellectual property under Victor Surge that he created.
Okay.
It.
Yeah.
But one of the characters' last names were Knudsen, one of the families. So he
All
got
right.
a little love right there.
Uh-huh.
And then also it said, created by Victor Surge at the end, which was his pseudonym that he created this creepypasta on somethingawful.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just part of a the contest they hold among themselves, basically, to create this new urban legend. And he did. And then the internet ran with it.
Right.
And ran hard. It had the Hornet business on YouTube.
Business? What's Hornet business?
The Marble Hornets, I think is what it was called. They just did another 1.5 million budgeted movie of the Slender Man that YouTube put on last year before this that I think was more popular because it wasn't in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
But it was sort of a conglomeration of the things that were covered in these little short YouTube videos that had Slender Man. And they put one of them in the movie.
Which was the Pied Piper?
Yes. No, yeah, the Pied Piper was on YouTube.
Invented the Pied Piper. They have Google has the power to time travel, Jackie. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I guess that was, no. Okay. So what I was thinking was that, like Sam's talking about all this stuff and I'm like,
it's just like words are coming out of his mouth and I'm like, Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper. In the movie, they reference the Pied Piper.
Right.
As being a Slender Man.
Uh-huh.
And so I thought that that's where that was going.
No, that is not where he was going because he was talking about YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
The Pied Piper was actually the Scarlet Pimpernel invented YouTube.
The Scarlet Pimpernel was that did the best impression of the Star Wars kid I've ever seen on
exactly.
YouTube.
So this is it became like a living urban legend at that point where it's got so many contributors that the rules are never really set on the Slender Man. But what happens and what's interesting and at the same time terrible is the Waukesha, Wisconsin stabbing that came from it.
Yes.
And the 2 12-year-old girls, in order to appease the Slender Man for 3 days, because it took them, the third try before they actually mustered up the guts to do it. Mm-hmm. But they took her friend out into the woods and stabbed her 14 times and left her there.
Yes.
They didn't do a good job.
No.
She
made it.
Dragged herself out to the road.
Yeah.
And someone helped her to the hospital where she made it.
No.
And
it's tragic. No matter what, it's tragic.
It's really tragic, but the more you read about it, you're like, it wasn't the Slender. They were going to stab somebody.
Probably, but my understanding is if you've never seen the documentary Beware the Slender Man, I highly recommend it on HBO. It's not. I mean, you might want to come there for the Slender Man creepypasta bullshit, but really, what the documentary states is, or what you're walking away from is, you know what, internet. Our fucking actions have consequences. Yeah. And if you just go and say a bunch of stupid shit, whatever you fucking want, there will be consequences based on your actions, including possibly a fucking 12-year-old getting stabbed to death.
By other 12-year-olds.
So probably keep your shit in check, you little fuckers.
Yeah.
Including myself. But it is a good moral. Sure. I mean, because of the internet and how stupid it is and how shitty it is, there needs to be, some moral checks put in place that we aren't prepared to we weren't even ready to discuss before all this shit.
It's almost as if the film itself becomes one of those moral checks because now at least it's publicly known that it's stupid.
It's shitty,
it's stupid, dumb shit.
Yeah.
But, some people only need so much of a push.
Right.
And the Slender Man gave those 2 girls the push.
Yeah, Beware the Slender Man goes into the primary daughter, the stabbers.
Yeah.
Or the stabber, her parents. She had fucking schizophrenia.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed with it. That's not, I mean, it's shitty. You got to be
Yes.
fucking careful. So whatever. It's tragic. Whole
is
thing's tragic. What else you got, Sam?
Just some nonsense on the director Sylvan White, who is a repeat offender.
Uh-oh.
Because his first film wasn't I Know What You Did Last Summer, or I Still Know What You Did, or My Cousin Knows What You Did last. It was
What were you up to last Thursday?
I'll always know what you did last summer, which is one I haven't even heard of.
No.
And
Wow.
I was like, I'll always know. So you're not going anywhere?
So the killer is an elephant? Never forgets?
He never forgets. He can't die, nor can he kill the person that he's after at that point, because if he does, then he won't be beholding the memory that he'll never forget.
Hey, what were you guys up to last summer? I'm just kidding. I can't forget that shit.
Yeah, he walks up with his raincoat and he's like, I'll always remember what you did last summer. And then one of the other kids is like, isn't that a little paradoxical?
Yeah, die!
You're not part of this, meat hooked.
So that's it? That's the only
That's
one?
about the size of
Okay,
it.
all right.
Also that it probably made money.
You think?
Yeah, there's some soft numbers, but it looks like they're going to probably do like anywhere from 25 against 14 to 33 against 28. I haven't seen this thing get pushed very hard.
No.
So it's going to make money.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. I guess that's what they're there for. I'm going to need some help with this one, guys, because normally how we do the show is I take extensive notes and read from my own notes when we're watching a movie in the house. When we go out to the theater, I usually pull up a plot synopsis on the internet. But there isn't one for this film because nobody gives a fucking shit.
Well, you'd have to have a plot.
Yeah, right. So
There's a plot.
Yeah, while we're talking about this, let's I'm asking for your guys' help.
Sure.
If I forget something or go, wait, what the fuck happened after that? Feel free to jump in and help me navigate this piece of shit.
But if you do that for any other movie,
Hmm.
he will fucking cut you down.
He will cut you. Will fucking cut you.
That's correct. This is a one-time pass to break the cutting code.
Exactly. Like, you're wrong. Shut up and eat shit. Before we get into it, I have to mention that we really rake Asylum over the coals all the time for being...
Who ironically just started following us on Twitter, and I was like, really, guys?
All right. If you need somebody to write piles of words, I'm available. I can write piles of words as anyway.
If you want somebody to just pick up a camera and stand in the woods while people stare at each other, we can do that too.
I got that covered as well. I mean, we could work for you if you want. We just make fun of you all the time.
Yes.
If you want somebody to judge boobs for your movies, I'm your gal.
That's the shitty thing is Asylum doesn't put boobs in their
No,
movies.
they don't.
They're dumb.
They're just trying to sell their schlock to fucking sci-fi.
Sci-fi
over and over again.
and chiller by most of their stuff. So. But one thing that all of their films have in common are these scenes that barely fit with what's around them. They're just piles of words.
Right.
And those films look like they're written by William fucking Shakespeare compared to this shit. The Asylum, like, whoever wrote this needs to go work at the Asylum for about 3 years to learn how to write a fucking scene that doesn't make any sense with the rest of it.
Right.
Because these aren't even, it's not even conflicting. It's just like, could you be more generic with a sentence?
And the fun thing is that you've got that pressed against, like, explaining everything to old people. Like, oh, well, we gotta really fucking over narrate how technology fucking works, even though we have no fucking clue how it works.
Yeah.
So that grandma can she doesn't have to stop and ask questions along the way. Hey, my great granddaughter, how does the YouTube work? Is the Pied Piper on it?
Shut up.
That's like, shut up. Seriously, shut up with this fucking
telling us everything
narrative
about
exposure.
Yeah, just expositional dialogue when it needs to be. Other than that, it seems like they were just like, oh, we need to shoot a dinner scene. You guys just ad lib.
Right.
And then they say sentences, but they're not really having a conversation.
No.
At any point. It's awful. I would also say that the heaviest lifting done by any of the filmmakers was certainly the editor, who actually should get a film by credit, even though it's crap, because you could tell that he was just having to put together. They shot everything they got the track out and they shot everything around it.
Yep.
With tracking shots. They probably shot more in 2 weeks than you can possibly imagine, and that poor bastard had to make a movie out
And
of it.
then, splice all that fucking Ring style shit everywhere. Not shaky camera footage, but the frame is shaking while you're going into the monolith and your brain is
Yeah.
getting melted. Ugh, I fucking hate that garbage. Jackie.
I'm going to say I was extremely disappointed with how they rolled out the myth of Slender Man.
They rolled it out. They just go, hey, let's call up Slender Man. That's how the whole thing fucking starts.
The first 30 minutes of the movie don't happen. There's
right.
This is a family at dinner. Look at them talk. He's like, I hear you do good in the 1600. All of your practice has paid off. And then she doesn't even answer it because it's not a question or a statement.
Then they say, my friend that was my arch nemesis on the track team is pregnant with so-and-so's baby.
Right.
Because
this is a middle America, even though it's Massachusetts.
Because you're racing against your own school, not other schools. Good job, dialogue. You're like, oh, well, I guess she's pregnant, so she's out of the race. Which means that the school's second best is now the best, and ergo not a good situation for the track team.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, the whole story revolves around these 4 young adults who are played by people in their mid-20s. They're 4... What do we think that their age is?
They're supposed to be sophomores in high school, I think.
I would say 15, 16, somewhere in there. Jackie, you good with that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
They're
I thought
clearly
maybe
not that.
juniors at most.
Yeah, they're clearly not that. These are adult women. But they go to high school and they like boys and being snarky towards each other about how shitty their lives are.
Yes, which is barely distinguishable by what they're doing on screen.
Correct.
Sometimes there's just shots of clouds for 2 minutes. Other times you're like supposed to be in this dialogue sequence, but you've got like the close-up of the side of somebody's head. And it's supposed to be creepy. And I'm like, is everything dark in this movie, even the daylight?
Yeah.
Because right now they're supposed to be in school during the day and they're talking about boys, and all I can see is a weird dark shot of the side of someone's head. What the fuck is going on here?
I also wondered why they couldn't turn on the lights.
The lights were on.
No, like in the school,
Sure.
if you watch the school scenes, right? Like sometimes the lights are not on.
Yeah.
And they're shooting, the way that they're shooting, you can see the ceiling and clearly see that the lights are not on. And then like there were a couple other scenes where, the daughter runs downstairs when the drunk dad comes in. And I'm like, because you don't have electricity, you turn on the fucking light.
No, they don't turn the lights on at any point.
No, it would be not scary then, I guess.
Whatever, that was stupid.
Yes.
If I get scared, you know what I do? Run around, turn on every single fucking light.
There's shots in this movie where you can see lamps on in the background and other, like, in the one shot that's either a tracking shot or a pan shot, you see 3 different lights that are on in a room, yet it's still very dark.
Right. So, yeah.
They've just got the exposure down so low that you can see a lamp that's on and not the person in front of it.
Yeah. Let's move on from lighting. I mean, lighting is exciting, right? That's what they always say. I mean,
it'll come back.
Speaking of Billy Shakespeare, he used to say that all the time, I believe. Lighting is exciting, right, guys?
Yeah.
And then his followers murdered him.
Sure.
Because he was an idiot.
I don't know
And
about
Sir
that.
Francis Drake? I don't know. I'm making shit up.
It's Oscar Wilde. That's who you want to reference when you're doing bullshit.
Hey, speaking of which, we should say R.I.P. Neil Simon. Thanks for everything you did mid episode. Why not toss it in right there? Speaking of Billy Shakespeare and great playwrights.
Yeah.
So they go to school and they're like, these boys seem cool, but we're like edgy, or we're supposed to be edgy. I don't even know, but it seems like we're the good girls in school because we don't do anything fucking wrong. These girls are the straight edges.
No, they're drinking vodka.
They're not drinking vodka.
They are drinking vodka and watching hardcore porn the first time we see them hang out.
I guess they are watching the hardcore porn.
And there is a bottle of vodka on the table next to the porn that they're watching.
That they're drinking it.
Oh.
Oh, well, all the shot glasses around it.
Or maybe they're doing that tampon thing. The vodka pon.
Yeah, in the butt. It's faster that way. If you only have one bottle and you got to split it 4 ways, you should definitely go with the butt method.
You gotta get 5 or 6 of them up there to really fucking trip out.
Oh, no, it's just one. It just has to be really full of vodka.
But 5 is better.
5 is going to the hospital.
Like you'd know. So they go back to their house, where one of them's house, I think her name is not Chloe, what's it? Fuck.
Katie.
Katie, the first one.
Yeah, Katie. They go back to her house where her dad is a drunk guy.
He's passed out drunk.
He's not like the representation of this film. I guess maybe that we're so like overexposed to this type of plot story, where the dad is a drunk and these girls are like, fuck our lives and stuff, and it just doesn't work on screen because the dad is supposed to be like, I'm a shitty dad. Really? He's just upstairs taking a snooze.
And everything is underdeveloped.
Right.
Later, he does piss him off, and they realize the living hell that he's created for his daughter, because he wakes up and tromps around a little bit up there.
Right. Yeah,
Like
he's a stomper.
He stomps, and that's loud. And it's ruining her life.
If you lived in an apartment with this guy, he would be a bad neighbor. A bad dad? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just drunk dad.
Stop it, Dad. You're making too much noise. You stomped and it scared me, and I bit on Billy's boner. He didn't like it. Now he won't go out with me anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
So they're just hanging out, like, we need to get the fuck out of town. Like, they're ready to go full footloose on this place.
Yeah, they're going to run away. And the one gal whose name is Ren, because she's the leader of the Pirates of Darkwater, I guess. That's the only other, like, Ren and Stimpy. And isn't his name Ren in that, too?
There's MC Ren, from NWA.
Oh.
Wow.
I've never met a young girl named Ren, though, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
But maybe this is going to be the, next splash, and every girl for a generation will be named Ren after this one.
Probably not.
Doubtful.
So she's like, well, you guys don't like fucking Massachusetts? We can summon Slender Man. And they're like, yeah, good call. Slender Man rules. And I guess their idea is, are they just doing fucking Bloody Mary like they're curious to see what happens? Or do they actually think like, let's get Slender Man to get us the fuck out of town?
Well, the 3 of them are like, oh, the boys are doing it, so we should see what they're doing.
The boys are doing it?
Yeah, and then the one's like, haha, I finally got him to win the Slender Man, because the Katie chick's like, my dad's so loud that I want to go to hell instead. Slender Man, take me away. He sleeps with his boots on.
I can't stand this stomping no more. How old are the boys?
They're probably juniors.
Yeah.
Because one of them has a varsity jacket.
Yeah.
Abercrombie Tom.
Yeah,
as he's
Abercrombie
known.
That's what they call him in the movie.
Yeah.
So Sam, you and I were once juniors in high school, at the same high school.
Yeah.
Our high school experience was a little different. Well, this is a pretty small school that these gals go to. Not quite as small as ours, but pretty small.
They're in the same classes.
Yeah.
Everybody's in this. So it's a pretty small school.
Yeah. When we were 16, 17, would we have been interested in summoning Slender Man?
No.
That's like your placement. If any boys are going to be summoning Slender Man or Bloody Mary or Biggie Smalls or whatever, like 12?
Yeah.
12, 13 maybe?
Dude, I don't know. When I was in high school, we played light as a feather, stiff as a board.
The girls are different. I would say this goes all the way up to 15, 16 for girls. But dudes,
no.
We start thinking pretty hard with our boners at about 13. And Slender Man isn't really boner material.
Yeah, there's really the only thing that I remember liking at that age was tits and Sega Genesis.
Right.
That was all there was for me.
And you only like Sega Genesis because you still thought that maybe one day somebody stuck some tits onto your Sega Genesis.
You could pause right when Chun-Li turned upside down.
No, all you have to say is Chun-Li and everybody knows.
Everybody knows. We know where to pause it, sir. Like we didn't. Everybody did it.
Yeah, they're just too old to be like, let's summon Slender Man. Like, fuck you. You guys are dorks.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get beat up later. But they're the captain of the football team type douchebags.
No, there was some of this shit that they tried here to like people were like, well, let's go on a snipe hunt. I'm like, how about you kiss my ass?
Snipe Up was a prank to fucking be dick to your friends.
Sure, but
not to
maybe
go actually find Snipe. You tell people about Snipe, and then they go out snipe hunting, and then you lock the door and get drunk by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
didn't fall for it either way. I was like, eat ass. I'm going to go look at Chun-Li's panties again. You guys don't know what you're missing.
Hand me that vodka.
Who needs a spank bank? It's like the First National right here.
Wow, your guys' high school was way different. I know maybe this is a normal high school, but I don't know.
I think maybe you didn't understand. Maybe teenage boys are actually more clever about hiding their giant raging boners than we give them credit for. Yeah, dude, I don't care what high school you go to. It's all you fucking think about.
Yeah, pretty much. You just don't wear sweatpants.
You don't wear sweatpants to school.
Because it's not going to conceal a boner at all.
Nope. Neither is your trapper keeper.
No.
Your PB keeper.
PB keeper. It's not trapping or keeping. Damn you, Mead.
Oh my God. Just like a permanent boner spot where you're on your trapper keeper. It's just a dent.
Yeah.
Mom, take me to Walmart.
Just needed like a belt for my trapper keeper so I could wear it permanently in front of my boner.
Like a loincloth flap, like barbarian style.
It's like, no, it's a new fad. It's like a trapper keeper and a fanny pack. Plus it hides your boner.
But you can't sit down.
Nope.
All right.
And if you put it on upside down, you lose all your pencils.
Bummer.
I just sharpened those.
Oh my God. All right. So they realize like, okay, well, we don't know how to summon Slender Man. Let's just Google it.
Because you know what? If Google would have been a thing when I was growing up, I totally would have done it.
Oh, sure. But like on film, it's really stupid because they find this video that's on some website that's YouTube-esque, and they're like, well, should we click it? I don't know. It could be the Russians. It could be malware or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they're doing it on the poor girl's computer too.
right.
So if she gets malware, she's just fucked. She can't afford to get that thing fixed if it crashes.
You can't download the malware bytes for free. Good understanding of technology.
Did you work on this film by chance? Yeah, she's got to take it to Circuit City and have it repaired.
Yeah.
Nope, not a thing, Jackie. She's 15. She can do more on a computer than any of us can, regardless of her dad's income and his stompiness.
Yeah, well, he might stomp the hard drive right out of that son of a bitch. Clomping around like he does.
So they find this video. They watch it. It's very Ring-esque. And then they're like, huh, okay. And they go to bed. But apparently they've been like...
No, this is a really bad cut. And I wanted to yell. This is the only time I wanted to yell something in the middle of the theater because it like cuts to her having a nightmare from it.
Right.
And then in the bottom corner it says 1 week later.
Right.
And I wanted to be like, she was asleep for a week? What a bitch.
Yeah, it's a week later. They go on a field trip, and they're like, "Hey, you feeling cool? I don't feel cool. We all saw the fucking tape, man."
Here's another betrayal of reality.
Mm-hmm.
The one girl says, I threw up twice this morning before I came to school. If you throw up before you go to school, that's your pass to not go to
Right.
school.
You hope you call your mom and be like, "Look at all this chuck."
Look at this is it.
I
Doesn't matter how it happened.
pass.
Doesn't matter what my temperature is. Barf in the toilet. I'm not leaving.
I've got a day filled of Chung-Li.
My penis is gonna hurt tomorrow.
I'm gonna need another day off.
I'm gonna need 2 days off. Ice.
And a locked door.
Lock the door. Yeah.
So.
Did you guys have locks on your doors when you were kids?
Oh fuck no! Your parents didn't let
What
you have
does it
locks on your
matter if
doors.
it's like a fake lock anyway, because there's just the little hole that you can push the rod in and it unlocks it.
Right.
So you're like, oh, why is this even here? this lie. It's a physical lie on the door.
So you can, so your mom can barge in there at any point and be like, "Oh my God,
What did you expect, lady?
what are you doing to yourself?"
Oh, the humanity.
Right? Your mother seeing you beat off is like the fucking Hindenburg. It's as tragic, less death, but
Yeah, maybe.
just as shitty.
Wow. I like how we're like 30 minutes into this podcast, and I think we're not even past the first.
I don't have a
10
synopsis to
The
go
thing
off.
is, we've talked. We're a third of the way through the movie, and
Right.
we've talked about everything that's happened. That's what's happening in this movie.
So the one, Katie, she's like, I'm going to stare off into space for a minute, into the woods.
Yeah.
And I guess nobody's going to pay attention to what I'm doing because they're on a field trip to the cemetery. Huh? And the next scene, this cutting is really shitty because the next thing, happens, she has disappeared, the Katie person. And they're all like, how rude. Call her up. We're standing next to the school bus and we're trapped. So apparently they all got on the school bus, and then the school bus marm did a head count and was like, fuck, we're at 17. We should be at 18. And who's missing? I had to figure all this shit out.
I'm going to go with worst friends ever. Like, honestly, they didn't realize she was gone.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you know what? No. As girlfriends, you don't walk away from your friends when they're staring off into the woods. You go, what do you see? And then you stand there together and you look at it until you can both see it. And then you're like, oh my God, that is an old guy beaten off in the bushes. Holy shit.
How's he doing now without Chung Li?
It's a sailboat.
Look at the size of his balls.
No, you missed that one. So it's a schooner, by the way. When she is staring off into the woods, the school bus is in the frame. So it's right there. It's not like she wandered off somewhere along the field trip. They're getting on the bus. She's staring into the woods, and they just, whatever. Let's talk about penises.
Yeah.
And then she wanders into the woods, and nobody's like, maybe check the woods. I mean, you're right. Fuck these girls.
They didn't realize that she was missing until the police showed up.
Hours later.
No, like, everybody's like, this girl's missing. I'm like, I'll just call her.
Yeah.
And the police show up, and then Ren goes, oh, shit. So the 4 hours that you've been sitting there were not evidence that there was a problem, but now that the police are here, you realize that there's some gravity going on.
Yeah, exactly. So she's gone. Whatever. So, like, they're like, we gotta find out what the story is. We gotta find out where she's at. And they sort of invade her dad's Stompy McStomper.
Yeah.
But they don't need to, because the one of them's just like, hey, can I come in?
This is after
Drunk dad shows up.
Shows up, and we think we're going to see the Slender Man for the first time.
Yeah.
And I guess her parents are gone tying one on or something like that. So they're upstairs sitting in the dark.
Uh-huh.
They hear a bunch of commotion, go downstairs, don't turn on any lights, run back upstairs, open the door. Oh my God, it's not the Slender Man, it's Drunk Man.
It's Drunk Stompy.
And then he shakes her and is like, where's Ja?
Where's my daughter?
I think he's looking for his daughter, not Ja Rule.
Where's
Ja? Never seen that music video.
I think he was there making a sandwich. Because if you listen when she's walking down in the dark,
okay,
it sounds like dishes, the refrigerator opening, maybe somebody getting a knife out. Like somebody is making a fucking sandwich.
He drank a lot of vodka today, Jackie.
He's like, I'm just going to make myself a sandwich and then I'm going to go accost this 15-year-old.
Wait, this isn't my house? Yeah. Shit, I've done it again.
Where's my daughter? This isn't my house. Wait a second. Hold on, I just got to sop some of this vodka up with a hot dog. I'm pretty fucked up. So then, as like in the filmmaking, like there's an event happening for the first time. A drunk guy has invaded a house. So they cut past that part and then just go to a slow motion montage aftermath.
Right.
So the first time that something happens in the movie skips over it.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he grabs her, they run away from him, and then he's getting slow
arrested.
motioned into the cop car.
Right.
And the dad is yelling, "You stay away from my family."
And then the next fucking scene is them going back to her
His
house.
house, yeah.
And he's out of fucking jail. Like, he's
He probably didn't take him to jail.
he's in for a B&E. Then
Oh, it's a small town. They're just like, God damn it, just sleep it off here.
he assaulted a teenage girl, Sam.
Did he grab her boob?
No.
No, he just shook her.
She could have said that.
Oh, she's fine.
Well, she could have said that. She could have been like, he grabbed my boob and scared me. Arrest him forever. I don't think he's out of
Arrest
jail.
him forever.
I don't think he's out of jail.
Well, he's out
In
of
this
jail.
movie, he's out of jail. When,
right.
You know what happened is that they were going to put in 1 week later.
Right? Oh, shit.
They forgot.
Fuck, we already did that.
We lost that graphic. I have some more shots of clouds in slow motion. No, we've already used that 17 times. Thank you.
So they go to his house, and they're like, we're going to break in the back while you keep him busy up front. But then she's like, I guess you're all right. You're not creepy at all. You just want to find your daughter, Buster. You're sad, kind of.
So-
Can I come in and snoop around? He's like, yeah, why not?
So they have probably an interesting heart-to-heart conversation. So that's not in the movie.
Right.
Instead, you just see the other two snooping around upstairs and finding the computer where she usually hides her cigarettes.
Yeah. She stashed her laptop under a board in her closet
Yep.
because she didn't want people to find out that she was planning on getting abducted by the Slender Man, I guess.
Yeah.
But she had all these drawings all over her
Right.
desk of the Slender Man.
And books on the occult. I think she's got the Necronomicon in there.
There was a Necronomicon in there.
So I wonder if she also had Farewell to Arms. You know, Evil Dead shout out.
Klaatu Verada. That's what happened. That's why all this started, because she fucked it up again.
Well, that's it. I said
That's it. Okay.
I'm going to take this now.
So they discover that she's been talking to somebody named Alley Cat.
Alley-Cat 93.
Yeah. And also watching more videos of the Slender Man where the dialogue is just so bad about this fucking goddamn computer. There's dates and places.
Oh, man.
What? On these videos, there's dates and places. There are names of towns and dates and times on videos.
Wow.
No shit.
Huh.
That's amazing.
There's descriptors. My God.
I thought it was quite advanced.
What's next? Labeling processed food on shelves so you know what to buy?
So they find out that she's been trying to get more Slender Man business going on, or like broker, you know, like, here's my card, call me sometime, Slender Man type shit.
She's probably like, okay, I summoned him. Why doesn't he like me?
Right.
It's probably a chat room for girls that didn't get taken by the Slender Man, because he was like, I don't want you. No. I said no, you stupid bitch. No. Quit calling me. I said no.
Right. No means no, teenage girl.
I'm pretty sure Tommy told the Slender Man I accidentally bit his boner. and now the Slender Man doesn't like me either. I hate it.
This child blows.
I hate you, Dad. You're ruining my life.
So they're like, this alley cat lady's like, oh, well, you got to give him something that you care about, and that'll make him go away, or if that's how you deal with him,
You're
or
like
whatever.
your virginity.
And yeah, that's a good place to
Well-
go. It could have gone to a lot of places where they're like, oh, it's my Tom Candiotti baseball card. I sure love this thing. They'll have some bullshit that's about that important to them, and they go out into the woods.
Right.
Have some fucking seance.
And the stupid thing is Slender Man still hasn't showed up in this movie.
No.
There's been nightmares.
There was a shadow at one point.
Right. While they're looking at the computer, the shadow grows behind them, but they still don't know that Slender Man's in this movie.
And it was ineffective, too, because like it needed another full second for that effect to actually work. Like, they drag everything out in this movie to death. And the one time they needed to add it, they cut something off, it was like, if you actually wanted to elicit a response, you needed to do that for a second longer.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't even notice it.
There you
See,
go.
because they didn't do it long enough, stupid assholes.
So they don't even know that Slender Man. They're just like, we watched a video one time. That's it. That's all they've got to go on, and their friend disappeared, who this entire time has been talking about running away. And they're like, fucking it's Slender Man! Let's go on the internet, where we found out about this Slender Man, which is like, at this point in time, I'm starting to get angry, because this is exactly what those two girls did that stabbed their friend. All of their fucking shit was just go back to the internet. Get more information off the internet. Not ask somebody like, hey,
You ever heard of the Slender Man?
like
Like an adult, and then the adult goes, no. That sounds fucking dumb.
Sounds fucking stupid. Your friend ran away. She is now on fucking Sunset giving out handies for $25 to fucking Axl Rose.
Yeah, that's what's happening. There is no Slender Man. There is, however, a Nightman. You need to close your windows.
Yeah. So they just keep like going deeper and deeper and deeper into the internet and getting more information from just some random schmoes on the internet.
They have to do this specifically so that the movie can recycle all of the pre-made boxed content that's already out there about the Slender Man. They can use all these photos and videos that already exist.
Yeah.
No work.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point. So they go out in the woods. They've got sweaters and I made this in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
It's a clay pot.
It's a fucking clay pot.
I love it so much.
It's almost as valuable as my Tom Cantiotti baseball card.
And they fucking rip up their shit and like put it in a pile. They don't even light it on fire, do they?
No.
Like
then they put the missing poster on top of it, like, just in case the Slender Man doesn't know that this is the person we're looking for.
Yeah, like, what if Slender Man fucks it up and it's like...
Brings him back some rando.
Joan Bonet?
Yeah, I thought that he was going to come up here and be like, we don't want broken shit. Leave the shit whole if you're going to give it to me. Who the fuck wants a broken pottery? I can't do anything with that.
I can't decorate my apartment on 4th Avenue in hell on that.
My neck's going to get real nice and warm with that scarf you just ripped in half. Jesus.
I don't even have a face to get cold.
But you guys are great at birthday parties.
And no baseball cards? Really?
No one's, at least a Candiotti. I mean, he wasn't that popular, but he threw a knuckleball, right?
So, like, there's a lot of room for error going on in their fucking magic summoning.
Yes.
And I guess this is the part where they have to put on the blindfolds,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
So they all put on the blindfolds because I guess the rule is you can't look at Slender Man in the face because then he's going to get you. But they're already being gotten by him, so I'm not really sure how that works.
It's supposed to make you go insane.
I thought that they were already going insane. That's why they got to get the Slender Man business done because they're can't stop thinking about Slender Man.
No, they're trying to get Katie back still.
Yeah.
No.
I was waiting for a homeless guy in a yellow jacket to run out and grab the shit out of the tree trunk while they were blindfolded. Just because he's been following him. He's like,
so bums want junk?
Yeah, the bum is going to be like, why'd you break this?
This is crap too.
I could have used it until it was broken. Thank you.
Do you want this shit, Slender Man?
Yeah,
no, I don't want that crap.
That's where they went wrong with the seance. The Slender Man and the bum are like,
Yeah. And Slender Man keeps kind of distancing himself because, the bum peed his pants, so no one will steal the pants.
Is it me that smells like pee,
Well,
or is it you, the homeless man?
Yeah. Where are you going, Slender Man? Look, if I don't pee in these every 30 minutes, somebody's going to take them.
Come on, John Eagle's having a party down by the gas can that's on fire. Let's go, Slender Man. You can hang out with us for a while.
Got some 17 magazines, bottles of vodka made of plastic. It's great.
What's the bum juice and street trash?
Viper?
Yeah, Viper. We got some fucking Viper.
Got some fucking Viper.
Well, let's party, Slender Man.
Slender Man's like, no.
Does Slender Man melt and turn into goo if he drinks Viper too?
I don't know. He doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah.
You just pour it on his dumb head.
No, he's got a tampon the Viper. He's gonna goo from the ass out.
Oh, that's I don't think that's on Creepypasta anywhere.
That Slender Man knows how to party, but it's weird. It's weird to watch him do it.
He asks for help all the time.
Yeah.
Guys, I need these in deeper. Give me a hand.
Yeah. It's not pull my finger. It's yank this cord and see what happens. You don't want to see what happens.
Remember the end of Two Chicks, One Cup?
Yeah. Slender Man's frat nickname was Ripcord.
Okay.
Okay, back to the movie.
All right. That's enough of that shit. So they freak out because they can't see because they're blindfolded, and Chloe runs. She's like, "Fuck this shit! I'm taking my blindfold off," and she runs away. Which I guess she runs straight into Slender Man. And she sees his face, and she goes fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she goes stoic at first.
Right. Quite.
Then
stoic.
she goes bonkers, and then I don't know if it's immediate. I think there's some more non-dialogue. Some blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Happens for a little while, and I think Abercrombie Tom and What's-Her-Face decide to go out with each other or something.
Well, yeah.
And then, but then we go back to Chloe or whatever.
Yeah,
her house. Where
She's not driven insane. But she saw him.
Now, but she's starting to go insane.
But he's there now.
Well, he's got a...
He stole Katie's cell phone.
Maybe. I think he's got one of those, like, he got a webcam attached to his head.
Right. Yeah, he's a GoPro.
He's got a GoPro linked up to the cell phone, and he's like, I'm at your house.
Check it out.
Look at me. I'm in.
Like, he calls her, and she gets a phone call. It's unknown. And she answers it. Again, my big problem with this movie is nobody thought to ask a teenager the rules of being a teenager right now. Do you answer unknown phone calls? Fuck no!
No.
We're not, like, that's what grandparents do. We know that there's fucking spammers out there. We're not morons.
She's like, unknown call. Just swipe to send it to messaging.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, the Slender Man's like, oh, I'll try to fool her.
Oh.
The next call comes from Steve. She just yells out the window, I don't know any Steves.
Not doing a good job.
Not doing a good job. And the next one says, your mom. So she answers it. But then it's, a picture of her, and she's like, stop it, Emilio Estevez, stop stalking me.
Right. Shout out to last week's episode of...
Because that's what he's doing. He's just stalking her at this point.
Yeah, no, Slender Man and St. Elmo's Fire blend a lot together. There's a lot of similarities between the two films. Yeah, so he, like, comes into the house via cell phone magic, and...
he goes through the screen door, then through in the sunroom, and then through the other door, as if to say, take that, Orson Welles and Citizen Kane. You motherfuckers.
All right, that one's... I don't know. I don't like that one. Sam.
Well, that's what he did.
I know.
They did the Citizen Kane. You can't do Citizen Kane shit in a horror movie. Go fuck yourself.
So he goes upstairs, and she's like, oh, he's coming right for me. I'll open the door and say hi. She opens the door, and there's nobody there, but he's behind her. But then she turns around, and he's not there. He's behind her again, like he's just glued to her back, like he's the steady cam.
And then he starts strangling her, but then she looks in the mirror, and she's strangling herself.
Which is what? What?
What?
So
he's like a vampire, guys. You cannot see him in a mirror.
I understand, but why is she strangling herself?
She's trying to get her hands off of her own throat.
No, that's the thing is when he is strangling her in the front shot, she's got her arms or her hands on his arms trying to pull them off. In the mirror, her hands are around her own throat.
He's Freddy Kruegering right now. He's in her brain.
But she's not dead
or
because
asleep.
She just goes weird looking later.
I believe that's called a zombie.
Yeah, I guess he melted her brain, but what the fuck happens here? I don't know.
So he's like Matt Sorum in Japan?
Yes, exactly. What?
Guns N' Roses drummer.
Really?
Yeah.
Twice in one episode.
It's gonna melt your brain.
Okay.
You saw obscure Guns N' Roses videos from before they broke up.
So Ren is like, all right, I'm going to figure this fucking shit out. Our friend's been turned into a zombie. The other one has gone to fucking sunset, and she's, doing things. Tacos. Shout out to Terry. And I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to look up all this stuff on the internet and find out the history of the Slender Man. And basically, he's fucking Pennywise. Like, he, throughout time, has just sporadically shown up and started stealing the children for X.
Well, we'll get to X.
Really? I don't know if we do.
We do.
Well, yeah, okay. So he was the Pied Piper. He's Shadow People. He's what else? What else we got? Anything we can call
Shadow People,
spooky pictures?
Yeah, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Or no, he was like not the Baba Yaga, but like a Baba Yaga type character, another Grimm's fairy tales style German monster thing that you would hear on the Myths and Legends podcast. Shout out right there. If you like stuff like that, check that show out. I like it quite a bit.
He's certainly not a Wendigo.
No, he's not the Wendigo. The Wendigo is a much better movie, even though it's really stupid.
Really bad and hard to watch. But if you every 5 minutes go, Wendigo,
the Wendigo,
it helps a lot to keep yourself interested.
It's not as awesome as the Thunderbird or
what?
You know, the Thunderbird. David Carradine.
Yeah,
that's more fun. So she's like, oh fuck, man, I then need to look up the science of bioelectricity and paranormal activity. What the fuck?
She's got it figured out. She goes to the library, does some Googling, goes into the small town library's vast printed section on the occult.
Right.
Well, you know.
And it's blend into science.
And right before the Slender Man shows up, they try to do a cat sting.
Right.
Only they do it with a low note and a librarian.
A librarian.
And you find out right then and there, librarians will never scare people. Nice try, though. Like, oh my God, what's that? A librarian at the library? Wow.
And the librarian gives her the stink eye, like you better not be stealing that book.
Bitch, you try to give me a sting right here? I'm a librarian.
Yeah. She should be like, can I help you find anything? That's usually what the librarian says.
Do you have more books about bioelectricity and the occult? We have one.
You are holding it.
The one.
It's not even a book about it. There's only one paragraph in that book about that. I'm surprised you even found it.
Yeah, she finds that he's got like fucking mind powers, that once you see this video or whatever, that he becomes a virus and you can't stop. It just keeps going deeper and deeper into your brain until you have no choice but to be like, hey, Slender Man, let's meet up and drink Viper.
Yeah, this is the point where you find out that most of the stuff's happening inside your head.
Yeah.
But
oh, I never caught on to that.
Yeah, because in the library, the Slender Man shows up when she's in the library. That's the next thing that happens.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a really bad visual sequence that takes too long, and the Slender Man doesn't kill her, and then she knocks over the librarian's shit.
Yeah, exactly. It was all that whole sequence was in her brain. So then she runs over to what's her nuts, the main lady whose name we haven't even addressed.
The tall one.
Yeah, the track lady. And she's
is her name Erica? Let's take a guess. Everybody give your best guess.
Haley.
Haley. All right.
Oh, I didn't get to guess. I was going to guess Steve.
So she's like, dude, I got this all tracked out, man. Slender Man's the fucking Pied Piper, and he's trying to steal all the kids and stuff, and he's up in my brain and stuff.
She actually just uses, because in the movie, it shows us the paragraph, like somebody else's voice says the paragraph.
Yeah.
Then she says the paragraph, and then she takes it to Haley, and then just says the paragraph again and points at it, where she's got it boxed in, like she's going to lose it.
Right.
And that's when Haley doesn't say, are you drawing in library books, you fucking asshole?
Yeah, that's not
Don't
yours.
do that. That's the library's book. Jesus.
So she's like, dude, we got to do something about this. We got to stop him. And Haley's like, how about you stop him? And I'm going to go bang Abercrombie Tom.
Abercrombie Tom asked me on a date, and I said yes.
So she's like, fuck you. And she's like, fuck you. I'm going to Tom. So she goes to Tom.
Yeah.
Who meanwhile has asked her to her house, and she saw Slender Man standing in the woods just being like, so I'm over here.
I'm an octopus now.
I guess.
Because he has octopi
Yeah.
things now.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that Japanese stuff.
Yeah. Shit's going to get weird in the last 5 minutes. And you're going to end up liking it, and nobody's going to know why. You're like, how can anyone like that? That's gross.
Okay, so she's over at Tom's. And he plays some romantic butthole music, and they're starting to make out. And at no point is he like getting too handsy. It's pretty tame.
He's got her by the
scene.
shoulders, but he is dry humping the shit out of her leg.
And she seems to be okay with it.
She's fine. It's her leg.
Until she gets Slender Man in her brain.
Well, that's not what happens at all.
What?
Tom just comes and he has the weirdest O face that you've ever seen in your life. He comes from dry fucking her leg and he's just like...
Vinegar strokes.
Yep.
Excited of that man's soul. Oh, that's insane.
Weird O-face, Tom.
And this is when she freaks out. She's realized she's made a huge mistake.
Right. I think this is when I laughed the hardest throughout this entire movie.
I shot snot out of my nose and I was really glad that I had a napkin. Good thing I had that hot dog earlier because I had a napkin still.
Tom looks pretty stupid in this scene.
He has a bad O-face.
And
is what-
they push it.
Yeah.
It's not just like a brief, like, Slender Man has warped her vision of him. They keep going with it.
Yeah, it's a long time. And you're just got to be going like, maybe this is the editor's last hurrah. He's like, I'm just going to give this guy the worst fucking O-face, and I'm going to leave it on there for 2 minutes. And I bet the producer's like, oh, man, that's great. You did some really good work there. And you're like, oh, God damn it.
So she tells Tom about Slender Man, and he's like...
Which we don't see.
Right. And nothing comes of it. He's like, all right.
I promise not to watch the video that
Yeah.
I just pulled up on my phone.
Right. And that's the end of Tom's storyline.
No,
But I'm 15 years old.
no, he shows up freaked out later, and he's got marks on his arm,
Yeah.
which is really inconclusive as to what the fuck that means.
He was raped behind the bleachers by other members of the football team. And he doesn't want to talk about it.
So he blames it on Slender Man?
Well, you never figure out what happens to Tom.
Tom
Tom just fucks right off.
He just fucks right off,
He
dude.
gets bruises on his arm.
yeah.
It has nothing to do with Slender Man.
No, because there's no point where, like, Slender Man was going to come from the woods and squeeze your forearm very hard.
Yeah.
Very
that
hard
doesn't
indeed.
happen to anybody else.
No! Why is that shot in the movie?
I don't know, but
I think he was sexually assaulted.
yeah, let's go with that.
Sure.
Because that's, of course,
By
where
Slender
Jackie's
Man?
going to go, but it's better than anything else.
This scene's also fun because they're dissecting an eyeball for no reason.
Yeah.
And they try to shoot around the fact that they only had so many 20-somethings with the focus,
Mm-hmm.
but a couple of times you can definitely see some 40-year-old people in that science class.
You're like, oh.
So, back in Haley's life, I guess, her little sister is having some sort of attack. She's got Slender Man in her brain, I guess.
Yeah, it's just some screaming, and then they run in, and if somebody's having a medical problem and their two parents are smothering her, what you should do is dive on top too.
Right.
Like, whatever's wrong with her younger sister, the three of their reactions to it are not good. At one point, her father says, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can.
Which is shaking
To
her.
shake her as hard as he can.
Violently shake her.
Just shake the shit out of her. You dive on her. Give her a shoulder charge right now. Hit her with your knee.
I want to see the flying headbutt.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and I thought she'd OD'd.
Well, that's the similar reaction. Yeah, I mean, she's just having a seizure of some sort.
And then if you OD, you should shake somebody and
Right.
give them a big elbow.
That's
Yep.
what I've always heard.
Gotta get those pills out.
So,
Big elbow, we'll get the pills out. Yeah.
can I take those?
Yeah, they're still good.
Yeah, those still good.
Just put them back in the bottle.
So she's like, oh, my motherfucker. Now my sister's gotten Slender Man, and it's Ren's fault. Like, I've made this connection.
Sure.
How did she make the Ren connection that it was her fault?
So-
because she finds a video.
She goes on to her sister's computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Slender Man is at the hospital for a while.
Right. of
Oh,
course.
God damn.
Screwing with her. And I don't. Oh my! This is such a dumbass scene because nothing happens to her.
Right.
He doesn't like come after her.
Uh-huh.
It's just all slow motion. She's watching some lady type
like a weirdo.
Like your dad.
No
I've
one-
seen your dad type,
he
and that's how
doesn't
your
lift
dad
his-
types.
he hunts and pecks, but she was starting from above her head with each keystroke.
Yeah.
She was like swooping in to surprise every key before she hit it.
She is playing, she's typing like Liberace plays the piano.
Exactly. It is, and then there's some other
It's
people
very dramatic.
that are like opening and closing manila folders in unison.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God,
The
that's
horror.
scary. Then there's a guy giving a lady in a bathtub a haircut.
Right.
I thought he was just brushing her hair.
It doesn't make
Whatever.
any sense. It's not scary.
Yeah, I don't know. That shit's crap. But yeah, she finds this video and she's like, oh my God, Ren's doing this to my sister. She told him about Slender Man and took him out of the woods and was like, hey, go get Slender Man. And my little sister's now Slender Man. And so she confronts Ren and she's like, I had to do it, motherfucker. We can't just give him something we care about. That's not good enough. He wants us.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's trying to jump out the window at this point. Ren's outside on the ledge of her window. She's
Yeah.
getting ready to jump.
She's ready to break her arm and bruise the shit out of which side of her face hits the dirt
it's
first.
a two-story house.
It's not, and we've seen that it's a very lush greenery environment.
Yeah.
You're really just going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, you're just going to get scratched up in the rose bushes.
You're going to have a bad trip to the hospital, and then you'll have to watch some lady get her hair brushed in a bathtub. Yeah.
Not that. So she gets pulled in at the last second, but then she's like, you bitch. I'm not a bitch. Oh, wait, you're my best friend. I love you. And then Slender Man uses his tree arms from outside to pull Ren through her window, and I guess she's gone forever.
She's gone forever now.
Okay.
And this is the point where you really realize that in a lot of horror movies, there's a force and there's people trying to get away from it.
Uh-huh.
Slender Man can do whatever he wants, whenever the fuck they want, whenever he wants. And they are never trying to get away from him.
No.
This just doesn't work.
Huh.
Yeah, they're not trying to go on vacation or go to grandma's house and stay there, hide out for a few days.
Or get a gun or like say, what's your fucking deal, Buster?
Yeah. And that he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He's not hindered by darkness or light of day.
Right.
He shows up whenever he wants and does whatever he wants. Is it even fun for him? It's not fun for us watching.
No, Slender Man's motivations are pretty vague.
Well, I know what his motivation.
Right. Okay.
We'll get to that.
All right. So she's like, okay, well, I guess if we have to give up ourselves, I got to try to save my sister Lizzie, and so the only way to do that is to sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because Lizzie's going through the exact same thing that we all went through,
She's
which
just gonna
means that
have
she's
to-
also part of the loop of getting gotten by Slender Man.
Yep.
And so she goes out of the woods and she's like, take me, Slender Man. And he's like, you know what? How about I turn into a tarantula instead?
A tree ranchula. And then she's like, fuck. For the first time in the movie, I'm going to run away from the monster.
Even though I am here
To be
talk to
captured.
this scary guy, and his response is to just get slightly dumber instead of more scary.
Yeah.
And so I'm out of here.
And-
Fuck this shit.
Yeah, he catches her.
He fucking catches her.
No, he doesn't. Oh, no, she goes
Yeah.
through the gate already. Yeah, he catches
Yeah,
her.
Whatever.
So, and that's the other thing is that, like, there's a gate in the woods or
okay,
whatever.
who cares?
But she's in his land now.
Right. It's his home.
Which is just foggier woods. Oh, this is much like the woods, only foggier.
Oh, I see you have a smoke machine. That's nice.
So
So
he-
dry ice in your pond.
He grabs her and turns her into a tree. Turns her into his tree.
She's a tree now. And
She's-
she realizes it, like her eyes glass over and she's like, I understand the Slender Man's endgame. I am now one with nature.
I am a tree.
I'm a tree.
I'm not even a tree, people.
No, she's just a tree.
She's just a tree. That's the end of the movie.
That's what the
Other
end
than
game.
a warning to us, he's still out there. He's still hungry and still looking for you, or whatever they fucking say.
Yeah.
But don't watch shitty YouTube videos anymore because you'll turn into a tree
You'll
too
turn into
eventually.
a tree. If you don't want to turn into a tree, though, stay away from the YouTube.
The end. Wow.
That's really what happens. She turns into a tree.
What is his deal?
He's Greenpeace, I think. Sierra Club.
Yeah. He's he's like Arbor Day every day.
Yeah.
We need more trees, and we're gonna turn people into trees. That's how, like, Soylent Tree.
Yeah, it's Charlton Heston's ghost.
Slender Man.
Charlton Heston was very slender, and he was the spokesperson for Arbor Day, so it all makes sense.
Ah, I see.
Ah.
You know what? I don't have anything better. It's Charlton Heston's ghost. You did it, you damn dirty teenagers. You cut out his brains and turned it into a tree, and I appreciate that.
I have to reverse your carbon footprint.
Jackie?
Questions?
Yeah, it's time. I mean,
thank
we
God.
just figured out what the fuck Slender Man is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem is there's only one question, and the answer is you turn into a tree.
So what was your favorite form that Slender Man takes on? Because he was an octopus, a salesman,
Uh-huh. Yeah, he wears a suit.
a tarantula,
Yeah.
He's
And-
still a smoke cloud, too.
smoke cloud.
And Shadow Guy.
Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to have a favorite?
Can I have a least favorite?
Yeah, we'll go least favorite.
Least favorite, but which makes it my favorite because it's just so stupid. And I understand that they're just copying some fucking photo that was photoshopped on the internet. But business suit faceless octopus is really stupid.
I think Tree Rantula is stupid.
Tree Rantula is really stupid, but like when you're just on the like, at least that's a tacky when it comes out.
Yeah.
When he's business suit octopus faceless guy, he's just standing at the edge of the forest being like, "Hey, hello,
Yeah.
what you up to? I'm an octopus businessman."
Look how many pine cones I can pick at once with my tentacles. Oh my god, the horror.
And clear out a boardroom.
Yep.
Why is he a fucking salesman? Like, what's the, like, I understand the drawings and like, whatever looks fucking cool, but how do you, when you're creepypasta, how do you, like, explain the business suit?
I don't think you can.
No, what's the backstory of his fucking business suit? It's dumb.
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Tweed is creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
See, and that was my most unfavorite, is when he was just business suit guy.
I think I got it. He got the suit at JCPenney's, and that is horrific. Because it's cheap.
No, I've seen the suits that JCPenney's. They're all like cream. They're not. Like, is that banana cream? Is that a color for a suit? You can wear that to work, or do you have to be in Miami Vice to wear that?
Right. Wait, that's just a man romper.
I don't work for UPS.
Okay, but just plain business suit
Plain business
guy
suit, yeah.
is Jackie's
Least favorite.
least favorite. All right. Sammy? I've only got one question.
I don't have any questions.
All right. That's my question. Why don't you have any questions?
I've got two more.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Was this a cautionary tale?
Yeah, I kind of think it is. I like. There's a little bit like
not stabbing people.
yeah, like,
or...
hey, we're gonna make this movie that we maybe arguably shouldn't even like continue this fucking thing because a child stabbed another child. But
Yeah.
I guess I'm a fucking sensitive liberal and all that sort of fucking shit. But yeah, it does seem like watch what you read and hear on the internet, kind of.
Or anywhere.
Yeah.
Don't do human sacrifice ever.
Don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
Yeah. Just ask your grandma.
Just ask your grandma. She doesn't know how to work the internet.
Yeah, she'll just make something up. It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
You can use your internet to contact your grandma instantly. It's called Instagram.
That was such a lame ass joke.
That's awful.
Yeah, I didn't make it up.
What? You didn't?
No, I saw it on a meme.
You repeated it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
even
awesome.
worse.
Creepypasta episode. I had to bring the worst meme I've ever seen.
That's pretty bad. All right, Jax. Last one.
Where does he take you? What kind of place is it? Is
It's
it
a tree.
It's a tree.
you just turn into a tree?
You just
Like,
turn into a tree. That's all that happens.
because in the myth, it kind of makes it seem like He's going to take you back to
To
his
another world. Yeah.
and it's going to be fucking rad.
Or the hell-ish. You don't know. You just...
But, you know, why would children ask to be taken there if there wasn't something cool that was there? Like a giant water slide. I mean, yes, it's a little overcast in his world, but it's a gigantic water slide with a tube that you can, like, ride through and see fish.
It's like one of those weekends where you get the free weekend of skiing, but they keep you in the timeshare meeting the whole time.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's going to be awesome. There's going to be all this stuff. And then you go there and you're like, I'm just a tree forever or until the tree dies. That was a bad choice.
Yeah. So maybe that's, I get, yeah, I like the tree idea. I mean, I'm not even going to question that like maybe your human form becomes a tree and your soul gets taken away to another world. I like the tree idea because it's stupider.
Well, it's also the only thing in the entire movie that was done in a way that made it seem clear. Because she got sucked into the tree and it didn't even keep the form of her. Uh-huh. It was just the tree.
Yeah.
You're just a tree.
You're just
That's
a tree.
it.
How many people are in this tree?
An entire forest, apparently.
Or he may...
No, I mean, like, is it like, you know, he's like, okay, this tree can
you
occupy
share trees?
like 6 people.
Maybe she got to be that tree. Her friend got to be another tree. We don't see that. We just know that you're going to be a tree.
I don't know why he wants you to be a tree, but I think you're going to be a tree because let's go back to the fucking Pied Piper of Hamelin. Recently listened to another podcast. I can't tell you which one, unfortunately, but shout out to whoever you are, where they talked about the Pied Piper and the variations of the fable. But the one fun, interesting fact about the Pied Piper of Hamelin is the date never changes. It's always the same date that this happens from this volume that was written in the 1600s to this volume that was written in the 1650s, or, you know, all this literature all has different changes in the story, but the date is always the same. Now, in Hamelin, there is a statue with a plaque on it that has been dated back to the, I want to say the 1550s, which the date I want to say is in the 1530s. So like 20 years after the incident. And the plaque says, September, whatever, 1530, the day our children disappeared, or our children left us. It doesn't say anything about the Pied Piper. It doesn't say anything about him playing a flute, but that there was a time when the entire village of Hamelin's children disappeared, and thus this legend was born from it. So maybe the Pied Piper took him out to the fucking forest and made the forest.
Sure.
I
think they just left because their parents would get drunk and clomp around too loudly.
Right, in their wooden shoes. Yeah. Wait, no, that's not
wood
that's
on
not
wood.
Germany.
Oh no,
wouldn't I? No. But no, he just likes trees.
He just likes trees.
They're nice.
He likes the way that they bark.
We need to move on from you.
Instagram.
My question: if Slender Man is supposed to be like a legit horror figure,
sure,
you know, this entire genre of film or storytelling around this guy, he's a new icon. Who wins in a knife fight
between Slender Man and
Jason? Can you turn Jason into a tree?
Well, yeah, if you get him from behind.
But Jason can cut a fucking tree down.
Right. So we're going to go with Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, he's been through way worse than...
Jason sees him, and he's like... and he turns his head abruptly, runs at him with his knife, and Slender Man's like, oh, fuck, everybody else runs from me. What do I do?
Yeah, he wouldn't even have time to turn into business tarantula. Freddy Krueger.
Plus, he can't turn him into a tree, Jason, because Jason's not a child.
Right. Yeah, the child thing is weird. They're teenagers. Why do they have to be teenagers? I don't fucking know.
No, the myth is about children.
Right.
The movie's about teenagers so that they could get as many butts and seats as possible.
Yeah, I guess. Jason or Slender Man versus Freddy.
That doesn't work because Freddy would have to be in
Slender Man's dreams.
Slender Man can't dream?
Slender Man is in other people's. That'd be like a real psychological throwdown right there.
So you're saying we're not equipped to say who wins in a knife fight between Freddy and Slender Man?
In the physical world, Freddy, but he's got knives for fingers.
Right, he's knife hand.
Yeah,
kind of a big
but
deal.
because of their individual powers, that makes it kind of tricky.
Jackie?
It's tricky.
You got any,
I'm going to go with Slender Man
okay.
because they're going to show up at some weird
What
random...
if they battle out in somebody else's dream? They're both inside the dream.
I don't think that's like trying to...
Like the Dream Warriors.
It's like trying to win in Dallas, right? Fighting Freddy Krueger inside of a dream.
I think you're just trying to escape that you don't know who would win. Jackie,
Oh,
you're
no.
up.
I'm saying that it would be in the dream. That's like playing at Lambeau. You're in his house. Freddy's going to whip your ass.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Jackie, but you say Slender Man.
Well, yeah, he can turn into a tarantula tree.
Tree rancher.
And
I'll bite Bobby's boner.
Stop her.
Freddy can explode out of sand like a land shark.
He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he
Like,
wants.
he can show up as, like, a train. Like, his head would be a train thing.
Yeah, a train.
Train thing.
Yeah, train thing.
Train thing. Engine.
I've got
thing.
something better. He could show up as a lumberjack.
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to be a lumberjack.
10 lumberjacks, actually. He can multiply himself in the dreams as
Right.
well. He's real tough in the dream world.
How about Chucky?
Well, he's not a real boy,
Mm-hmm.
so he can't be turned into a tree.
He's made of plastic, so he isn't made of wood. So
Well,
he's
his
not
soul-
already a tree.
His soul's an adult soul.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And he's not a real boy, so he can't be turned into the tree, so it really nullifies the Slender Man's powers again.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's going to take Chucky a couple days to cut down that tree with a butcher knife or a chef knife, he's still going to do it.
Okay. So who can Slender Man beat in a knife fight?
He-Man.
Are you just saying names?
Skeletor.
Instagram.
My grandma, but actually he can't beat grandma because grandma doesn't know how to work the internet.
And she's too old to be turned into a tree.
What did Slender Man do before the internet? Like, if he's like, how did he get these kids? If you have to watch his YouTube channel, like, does he have
He had
a
junk mail.
website?
He had junk mail before.
With a flip book.
Yeah, he put out ads in the penny saver.
Come watch this nickel movie.
Yeah.
So if technology has changed everything for Slender Man, he can now use modern. Does he have a website? Like,
Yeah.
I registered
That's
Slenderman.
where they got the video was from the Slenderman website.
So does he have like a guy?
Yeah.
Like he just went on Fiverr and hired some Indian guy?
No, he does it himself. He was big in GeoCities. And he just sort of just kept going.
Slender Man has a website is really not scary.
No.
Slender Man also owns a GoPro and a telephone.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. How much do you think he pays for hosting?
Make it cheap or I'm going to haunt your nightmares and turn you into a tree. We're grown men, sir. You
Yeah,
cannot do
You
that.
cannot turn me into a tree. These are not how you negotiate. You either pay the $9 a year or you don't have a website. That's it, buddy.
$9 a year. Where are you getting your
I don't
fucking
know.
hosting from?
The sort of people that would have that argument probably only
So
charge that much.
he
for
can't
hosting.
beat anybody in a knife fight.
the
Orko.
the
Horror icons, Jackie. Horror icons. Quit going in Eternia just because you like Eternia. Dracula?
no.
Nope.
No. What about the woman in black?
The woman in black? He could totally
Yeah.
beat fucking Harry Potter in a knife fight.
The woman in black is pretty dumb, so he could probably.
Yeah,
I think
he
that they
could
would
take her.
stalemate. I think they'd wrestle around and both get tired.
So we have to conclude that Slender Man is lame.
He would, if we were to go to the movie that it wasn't as bad as The Gallows, whatever.
Ugh.
He could win them in a knife
Yeah,
fight.
he'd beat
Oh,
those
yeah.
other teenagers up in a knife fight. Final recommendation, guys. Where are we out on this thing? Sam?
I didn't like it very much. I have a real hard time telling somebody to watch this because of the 4 times you get big laughs out of it are in between long periods of what the fuck is going on in front of me and why are you doing this to me?
Right, yeah. But there is a few giggle moments for sure. The writing is so dumb.
The Abercrombie Tom's O-face that's supposed to be scary is one of the most unintentionally hilarious things I've ever seen.
I'm gonna ride the fence on this one. I didn't hate it as much as you did. I actually didn't think it was as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting to be tortured, like miserable, and I did. I giggled. I had a little bit of fun with it in my head. And it is much better than The Gallows.
Oh, absolutely.
So I give it that. I even think it's better than Flatliners from last year.
Oh, yeah, no, Flatliners was awful.
So if this is going to be the shittiest of the horror movies that we're going to have to do, which usually when the horror comes for the Smab Fuzz, we're like, ugh.
Not again.
You know what? I'm looking forward to the Smab Fuzz this year because it's not going to be as torturous if this is as worse as it can get. However, on that note, I cannot recommend it. Unless, with one caveat. When we walked in there, we had the entire theater to ourselves, and we were like, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Unfortunately, some teenage girls walked in, and then some, what's that where you ticket jump, where you watch a movie and then you go into another movie?
Theater hoppers.
Theater hoppers. Some two teenage boys came in.
Oh, one of them was a girl.
Oh,
they held the door for me.
Yeah, all right. If you were able to go in there with two friends, the entire theater to yourself, and yell at the screen, riffing the entire time, I honestly think that this is the type of movie where you could have one of the most beautiful theater-going experiences of your entire life because it wants to be riffed hard.
It is a riffer's paradise, and that may have been where I was so uncomfortable because I wanted to be screaming things at the TV the whole time, and I couldn't.
Yeah, so you got to get lucky to have this one be a nice experience for you. Jackie?
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I was so bored.
Yeah.
That I was like, I wonder how big of a fart I can push out. Like a popcorn fart, and how bad it's going to smell. And if anybody will even notice.
Right. So your mind has gone to other places in this film. I will say I started thinking about other movies in a couple spots.
Yeah.
So, it's like I was cheating on the movie I was watching.
There was a couple of things that were just so dumb, like where they started to pay heed to other films, like with her inside of her own eye.
Yeah.
But then it got stupid where her like body kind of came apart, but it was like dancing.
That was hilarious.
And it was like, dude, that's like Beetlejuice shit. This is funny. That's not scary at all.
Right. The horror of this film is probably the funniest part.
When she was pregnant with a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not connected. It's very disjointed.
Right.
Everything that's important that should be part of this movie is not there. Like Sam said, we just skip over that part.
Right.
Let's just get back to some more scary librarians. I just don't.
It's a don't.
Okay. All right. That's 3 don'ts.
It's very boring.
Yeah. It is a little slow. But yeah. So we're going to move on to some other movies. We got some streaming do's and don'ts, starting with...
Don't.
I'm afraid not. On HBO Now, Deep Rising from '98, starring Treat Williams
and
Famke Janssen, and like every other person whose face you've seen at one point in time. How the fuck did I not even know about this movie? It's a fish movie, or it's a fish monster movie, like Deep Star Six, Leviathan. But with like a team of mercenaries on a cruise boat. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking loved this shit.
This shit was hot.
It is hot fucking garbage.
It is a dumpster full of eggs in the sun.
Jackie, you want to still stick with that now that we're talking about Deep Rising?
No. I've never seen it.
You watched it with us, you jackass.
I don't remember that.
She's disqualified from talking for the rest of the episode.
I'm gonna have to say it's a do not for me.
We fucking watched this movie. Famke Janssen is like a sexy robber, cat burglar lady on the cruise boat.
Oh yes.
And then there's a giant octopus in the cruise boat at the end.
I thought that was not an octopus. I thought that was something else.
So you thought we were talking about a different movie?
Well, I didn't remember it until you said cat burglar.
Good God.
And then it all came rushing back. Yeah, I'm going to give this a do not.
What?
I couldn't even remember it until you guys said cat burglar.
Yeah, you're on crack, dude. You're done. You're done. You're off. Go get out of here.
I will.
You can't. That's horseshit. This movie was awesome, and you're just being snarky because you wanted to pay attention to the dogs rather than talk about movies.
No, I just didn't remember it.
I will say this. Remember how shitty Speed 2 was, and it takes place on a cruise boat?
Yeah.
This is everything that Speed 2 should have been, because it is wham, 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 scene after scene after scene of stupid shit happening constantly, with Treat Williams smiling at the camera, pretending he's fucking Han Solo the whole time.
Yeah.
And guys that are like, I don't like getting dead by octopuses, but I'm going to fucking get dead by octopuses, when they're like extreme tough guys. They're like the fucking aliens mercenaries.
Yeah.
With Bill Paxton. Game over, man. And
they got special bullshit guns.
They got special bullshit guns, and they're all fucking giant wiener.
Yeah.
And I don't mean wieners as in like they're like, hey, fuck you, I wouldn't fuck her with your dick, like fucking that Sabotage movie. I mean, they're wieners. Like, these guys are a bit of a bunch of ninnies.
Yeah. There is a whiny guy who's like, oh man, not again, man.
Right.
He makes it and they don't.
Right. I thought I had a blast with this movie.
I didn't. I'm back.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
So upset that it didn't make enough money that we got to see the sequel that they lined up at the end.
Yeah, right.
Where they end up at Dinosaur Island.
Right, Dino fucking Island.
Treat Williams and Famke Janssen versus the dinosaurs. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Oh, I fucking loved it. Next up, Jackie and I watched this on Amazon Prime with the help of the guys from Riff Tracks. Starring Martin Landau, Christopher Plummer, and Christopher Lemon, Jack Lemon's kid.
Oh.
Called Firehead.
I've never even heard of this.
I hadn't either. And wowie, wow, what a pile of garbage this film is. So, Firehead is the tale of a cyborg built in Russia who defects to the United States, and there's like a secret world shadow government trying to get him back so that they can use his cyborg powers to blow up the planet. And the only thing stopping that is Jack Lemon's kid, who sucks at acting. And it's called Firehead, and they call him Firehead, but at no point is his head ever on fire. He just has laser eyes that he misses with.
So
you
that
can't
sucks.
miss with laser
no,
eyes.
because it hits what you're looking at. That's like the only perfect aim.
He also was able to give himself a shield.
Right, a laser shield.
So that the bullets couldn't get him.
Oh, Firehead, wow, is terrible. Jackie, where are you at on Firehead?
I'm going to give it a do not.
I think it's a do.
I was bored.
I think it's a do with or without. They're hilarious.
The riff tracks was hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny, but the movie itself is just so like, look, Martin Landau and Christopher Plummer, I know you guys pick some stinkers here and there. Like, you're working men. You'll take anything, right? But this one, really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's that kind of bad. So I think it's a do just to see them, and I think it's fun because he fucking shoots lasers out of his eyes
And can't hit anything. Like, all
and
right.
it's not just occasionally that he uses superpowers; he's flaunting superpowers all over the place. Now you do kind of want to murder Christopher Plummer or Christopher Lemon, because he really is obnoxiously terrible. But yeah, it's a do for me.
You should see Math House, kids. God damn it.
Yeah, right. Next up, also on Amazon Prime, also Riff Tracks, we watched a film called Julie and Jack from 2003, a movie I had not heard of, but I am really surprised isn't a bigger stink about people. I think I just said Julie and Jack, and there's people listening to this show that go, yes, now finally they've hit all the buttons. Because this is directed by one James Gunn from such fine films as Birdemic 1 and 2. It's his first movie.
Oh, Birdemic wasn't his first movie?
No, this is 7 years before Birdemic.
Oh.
And the lead actor was fairly decent looking.
What? He's a doofus.
He's not.
He was a major doof, Jackie. A major doof.
I thought he was okay.
All right, well, he's okay. He's not fucking Neil Breen by any means, but...
He had nice dimples.
Okay, fine. Anyways, so it's a love story directed by James Gunn. Which,
How many shots of the restaurant?
None.
Oh, really?
None. And it's,
No, they were at a restaurant one time.
yeah, but it wasn't his restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not a commercial. It's just him trying to tell a sci-fi love story. This guy is a doofus who is a salesperson, and he is lonely, and his friend's like, oh, look at all the chicks I'm fucking on the internet. You should try to fuck a chick on the internet. So he meets some woman online, falls in love with her, but there's a little bit more to her backstory than she's willing to divulge. And so he goes on this pursuit of, what's your deal? Now, that makes it all sound kind of interesting, like a normal movie.
Sure.
But really, it's just a movie directed by James Gunn. It is crap. It's crap. It's as crap as crap.
You have to watch everyone get all the way from point A to point
Yep.
B. Oh, that's so annoying.
Lots of shots of people just parking cars,
Walking around.
walking from here to there. There is...
And about halfway through the movie... Oh, I guess I can't
No,
tell
you
you
can
that.
you can spoil that. That's not the big one. It
So
turns
like
out...
So like halfway through the movie, you find out that they haven't been on a single date. They've only been dating in virtual reality.
Yeah, they've never met in person. They're just going to locations around San Francisco where they live in virtual reality. Like, that's the exotic location they choose to have is Pier 19 next to their own house.
Hey, we got virtual reality. Where do you want to go? How about Starbucks?
Yeah, it was about like that.
It is about like that. It's so bad. But you know what? It is fucking leap years beyond Birdemic. That's the crazy thing. He got shittier at it as he went on.
Yeah, because this wasn't a halfway bad movie. It had a plot line.
It does have a plot line.
You could follow it. You know, it wasn't badly.
There's some. I honestly think that the riff tracks guy struggled to riff this one because it's just so bad.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot to work with as far as riffing
When there's just people walking and parking.
Yeah.
You can only make that joke one time, even though he's going to do it 50.
So if you've seen Birdemic, this is a do. You probably should see, but if you haven't, just avoid the whole thing completely, is my opinion.
I've heard Birdemic 2 was God. I still haven't seen it. But...
No.
See, and I disagree with you. This is one I would give a do to.
Okay, why?
Just because of the storyline, it's just something new that we really haven't seen before.
No, it's not. It's total done. Like, this is the oldest of storylines, Jackie.
Of virtual reality dates?
Yeah, that they're star-crossed lovers, but there's a twist. That's as generic as you can get.
I liked it. I would give it a do.
Okay, I don't have a problem with you having it do, but saying it's a new idea is fucking horseshit. Why did you like it?
I like the costume. and one scene in particular, that's what I liked about it.
What everybody says about James Nguyen's art style, the costume.
The costumes.
People in their own clothes.
I liked the storyline. I liked the conflict that the characters had to grow through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying it's no way. That's not a do not. I think it's too shitty. It's just too shitty. Next week is my pick. In honor of an upcoming movie, I think it's time we finally pull out a big gun to celebrate the release of Predator. We're gonna go with Predator 2.
No, Predator 2 just needed to happen for a while. That thing needs to get unveiled.
So check us out. That's, I believe, currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So watch that this week and come back to us then. You guys got anything else to add before we wrap this shit up?
The trees.
The trees, they're coming for us.
The people.
There's trouble in the forest.
We're going to burn our daughter down.
No, that's not how that song goes at all.
Oh.
Totally.
Instagrams.
Okay, get to the show. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.
Today my foot is a delicacy.
My foot is a delicacy.
They can't keep their mouths off of it.
Oh, dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I think I must have stepped in some peanut butter.
Testing.
That's much better.
People testing people.
Reach out and test someone. You guys ready?
Yep.
Testes.
Testes.
We're already told funny jokes. We haven't even started yet.